BootTube! So apparently I actually have enough time to record one more video. And I'm probably gonna record another one later tonight. This is for The Flash, Season 4, Episode 9, titled Don't Run. Episode 9 is actually the mid-season finale. We're already on Episode 12, from what I'm understanding with The Flash. Episode 12 just premiered this week. So, technically I'm just gonna get 9, 10, and 11. 12 I could catch up on later on because, you know, like I said, it just premiered this week. And I still have to watch it. So, anyway, yeah, the mid-season finale was Episode 9, titled Don't Run, which is the episode after the, awesome crossover. Look, more notes. I always get notes everywhere, man. Anyway, so Episode 9 is basically Christmas, because remember, if you guys remember correctly, Arrow had its own Thanksgiving episode because one of their episodes legit landed on Thanksgiving. So, because of that, they titled it and based it on Thanksgiving, and apparently this one, The Flash, they based it on Christmas. Which is not surprising because I believe it premiered on Christmas? I could be wrong because, you know, The Flash is on Tuesday and if I remember correctly, oh no, wait, it was the day after Christmas because I remember Christmas was on a Monday, Flash usually premieres on Tuesday. But anyway, so since it's technically a Christmas episode, what you call it? Dude's like KO'd in the car next to me and he's like my coworker. It's hella creepy. But anyway, Barry's Christmas shopping and unfortunately gets ambushed and kidnapped by DeVoe. Shoot, what else happened? Caitlin, oh, my baby Katie. Caitlin ends up getting kidnapped from Jitters, because she's there in Jitters, by Amunet. You remember that chick with the whole metal power thing going on? Yeah, gets kidnapped by her at Jitters. And so, Iris, you know, being the good little Samaritan she is, she wants to try to save both, right? But of course, she can't save her husband and her friend at the same time. And, even though she thinks she can, unfortunately, Wells thinks that, you know, they have insufficient time. They can't possibly save, they can't afford to save both of them. They only have enough time to save just one, right? And Barry, since, you know, he got kidnapped and, well, ambushed and kidnapped by DeVoe, he's being held captive in DeVoe's lair. And if you remember correctly, DeVoe's lair is technically in his home. Because that one episode when they revealed DeVoe in a wheelchair, you see him and his wife, you're like, oh my god, they're here. And their lair has to be somewhere in their house. There's just no way. But anyway, Caitlin, on the other hand, with Amunet, apparently Amunet kidnapped Caitlin because of her medical smarts, because, you know, Amunet pretty much forces Caitlin to perform a surgery on what looks like a metahuman by the name of Dominic Lance. I want to say Lance because I don't know how to properly pronounce that name. I want to say it's Lance. It's spelled L-A-N-S-E. Lancey, maybe? I don't know. But if you guys don't recognize that name is in fact in the comics. The name of that person in the comics is actually called Brainstorm, and he is a villain. But anyway, it's pretty cool that they're bringing another comic book character that no one really knows about. Because, you know how it is. This is what I love about the CW shows. Sometimes they bring in characters that no one knows about, right? Like, for instance, Flash. You get all these B-lister villains that no one knows shit about. Like Brainstorm, for example, and just like in the comics, mind powers, kind of. Because in this universe, Dominic can read minds. I never did much research on the comic version, which is Brainstorm. I probably will do that later on. But like, yeah. Caitlin is forced to pretty much perform a surgery on this guy. For God knows what reason, she doesn't know. No one knows, right? Let's see, what else did I write here? I remember those two tried to escape to the point where they couldn't because Amunet pretty much blocks the exit. And it's pretty much a Caitlin versus Amunet battle there, which I thought was pretty damn funny. I'm not gonna lie to you. I'm not gonna lie to you also, this episode most likely will be very fast with my reaction rant because it's pretty self-explanatory in my notes. And I'm gonna do the main shit. I'm not gonna like go in too much detail. And plus I have to work later. Because from what I remember, I have at least 45 minutes to get to work. Because I start at 12:30, and last I saw when I first started the video, it was like 11:44. So, and plus I have to go bathroom and I have to get more water because I'm thirsty as fuck. Anyway, they try to escape. Amunet blocks the exit, so there's like a brief battle with Caitlyn versus Amunet, to the point where Caitlyn, our beloved Killer Fuss, manages to incapacitate Amunet long enough for them to flee the building that they're in. Let's see. I don't know how, but I remember at the same time Barry manages to escape DeVoe. I don't remember how though. You guys could put in the comment section how, because my brain is just fried, because this is episode 9, guys. 9! They just premiered episode 12 this week, okay? I am behind, yo. Okay? So, put in the comment section, tell me how he manages to escape DeVoe. Or did DeVoe let him go? Because I don't remember. All I know is that Barry got out of that lair. But, like I said, Dominic and Caitlyn get away because Caitlyn incapacitated Amunet. They flee the building they're in, and they are found and rescued by Cisco and Ralph, because apparently, since Wells is like, hey, we have insufficient time, we could only afford to get one of them. Apparently, Iris chose to save Caitlyn instead, mainly because, most likely, from my opinion, she probably chose Caitlyn more than Barry, because, and this is my honest opinion too, I would think this also, because Caitlyn versus Barry, I know that Caitlyn's now Killer Frost, she has control of her powers and everything, but if you stick the two together and see who has more experience fighting bad guys, Barry obviously does. So in my opinion, I think that's the reason why Iris chose Caitlyn to save Caitlyn instead of saving Barry, mainly due to battle history. Barry has more experience fighting bad guys than Caitlyn, so she probably believes, like I did, that Barry will be fine, right? But anyway, rescued by Cisco and Ralph. Anyway, everything seems hunky-dory in this episode, because Team Flash ends up having a Christmas party in the West household, and they even invited Dominic to join the festivities, which I thought was really, really cute. We finally get, I thought it was really cool, mainly because we finally have another metahuman that, in a way, joins the crew. Because it's like, for the longest time, you know, even before Ralph, for the longest time it's just the core people, right? But like in season 1, it was either season 1 or season 2, there was a girl, Plastique, remember her? I had so much hope that she would join the team, because she wasn't a bad guy. She had power. She could have been part of Team Flash, but unfortunately she pretty much went nuclear from what I remember. And it just broke my heart. I'm like, bro, I wanted another metahuman in the team. And then comes Ralph. I'm not that I'm saying I'm not happy that Ralph's part of the team. It's just, we need more people besides, you know, Cisco, Caitlyn, and Barry being the only metas on that team. Also with Ralph, you know what I mean, but you know what I'm saying, right? And it's like, all of a sudden during the Christmas party, Barry gets a security alert coming from his apartment, and of course he's like, maybe something just got triggered or something like that, so he's like, you guys stay here, I'll go check it out. It probably is nothing, but of course, keep this in mind, it's never nothing, because the moment he arrives to his apartment, he gets a phone call. In all honesty, when he got the phone call, I honestly thought he was going to get a phone call from DeVoe. I technically wasn't wrong, because the person that called him was actually Dominic. Apparently, Dominic reveals on the phone that Amunet managed to recapture Dominic after the rescue. So apparently, like, after Caitlyn and Dominic got rescued by Cisco and Ralph, from that time to before the Christmas party, somehow Dominic got recaptured by Amunet again and given to DeVoe, because apparently DeVoe transferred his consciousness into Dominic's body. So basically it was like invasion of the body snatchers kind of thing going on. And so, yeah. we have DeVoe in Dominic's body now, which is pretty bad considering Dominic's powers. He could read minds. So if freaking DeVoe, who's already like genius IQ because of the particle accelerator, and now he has access to, I want to say has access to Dominic's mind reading powers, that's definitely not good. Definitely not good at all. And what makes it worse, the reason why the security alarm was triggered in Barry's apartment was all a ruse, because they wanted Barry alone in the apartment. Because as soon as he gets the phone call, he also discovers DeVoe's original body dead. Just flat out dead on his apartment floor. And like everybody else is like, shit. The security trigger in his apartment, that was all a ruse to get Barry by himself in the crime scene to frame him for the murder of DeVoe. Which is pretty damn genius. Like, we're literally dealing with an evil genius, man, because damn, right? But anyway, the police arrive, but of course, before they arrived, there's a moment where Barry was thinking about, running off. But then, most likely, Barry, he thought of Iris. And he's like, I can't leave Iris like that, right? So instead of just running off, using his speed to run off and say, I wasn't there, I didn't do anything, he lets himself get arrested. So that episode was straight up crazy. Despite him being an evil genius, I've never had such respect for DeVoe for what he just managed to pull off. In all honesty, I was wondering why there had to have been a surgery for Dominic, and I think this might have been why. Despite being knocked out, I think maybe Amunet may have let them go? Maybe? I don't know, but this had to have been all part of the plan. Dominic having the surgery with Caitlin. No, sorry, Caitlin performing the surgery on Dominic. That surgery had to do something to Dominic in order for him to be easy access for DeVoe. Just saying. And obviously, we got them working together, Amunet and DeVoe, because apparently Amunet was the one that captured Dominic again, and somehow DeVoe ended up with Dominic, so they have to be working together, obviously. And, yeah. Invasion of the Body Snatchers, guys. And I feel so sorry for Dominic, but I'm hoping maybe because Dominic seemed like a good kid, a good guy, I'm hoping maybe, he will fight DeVoe in his head or something, because, it's Dominic's body and it's Dominic's powers. So I'm hoping that maybe that might be used to Dominic's advantage, so he could, drive DeVoe out of his brain or something. Maybe. I'm hoping. Here's hoping that Dominic, somehow his consciousness is still there, hasn't been deleted or erased, or hopefully not put into DeVoe's dead body. Hopefully, he could drive DeVoe out of his head. I'm just saying. But anyway, that was a pretty badass episode. Good mid-season finale. I can't believe Barry's arrested, but we did get a hint of that. If you guys remember, when Barry not really first time traveled, but that moment, there was a time where Barry time traveled, and he saw little glimpses of things. Some of the things he saw, he saw the Flash Museum, right? He saw Killer Frost. He saw Supergirl. One of the things we saw in that scene when he went back in time, he saw himself behind bars talking to someone while he's in jail. So that was already predicted. I was waiting for that moment when Barry was going to go to jail. We finally got to see it. Ever since we saw that moment, that Flash moment when he's speeding through time and space and all that shit, seeing Supergirl in her world, seeing the Flash Museum and all that, when I saw that scene where he's the one obviously in jail, I was waiting for that to happen, and it finally came. So let's see what happens. And it's literally like his father being framed for something he didn't do, being framed for a murder he didn't commit. Just saying. Anyway, that is my reaction rant to The Flash, and I'll see you guys for Supergirl Season 3. I know it's Episode 9, and it's titled Rain. I want to say Season 3. But anyway, bye, guys!